thought it would be today, halfway through the week after the holiday weekend, although no one has any crystal ball and is reading tea leaves. You know, we keep using these same phrases. But for anyone who may be tuning in right now, I just want to restate again that just about a little more than 10 minutes ago, we did hear that the jury has reached a verdict. The judge says it will be read at the top of the hour at 3 o'clock. All along, she has said that would be the plan. If the jury reached a verdict, she would then have it read at the top of the following hour. And that's to give all of the key players time to get here, and that potentially includes Amber Heard. Do you expect Amber Heard will be here?
I think she may be here, and here's why. Right now, regardless of the verdict, Johnny Depp has won. If he gets a verdict, great. When he got that crowd yelling and screaming for him in London on the 2 nights, that said it all. But if Amber Heard comes here, and if she wins, great. But if she loses, she will show something that he didn't show. And I agree with everybody else. It's a bad look for Johnny Depp to be in London, but it's an insult. It's an insult to the taxpayers of Fairfax County and the jurors and the court staff who put up with this for 6 weeks. It really is bad.
You know, that's a good point. And here's another question. We've talked about this over the last few days. What are the possible iterations of a verdict? Because there were multiple questions that need to be answered, multiple statements from each side. Is there any chance that the jury finds neither side defamed the other?
Yes, because it's clear and convincing, and they could conclude that Depp did not meet his burden, clear and convincing, on the 3 false statements alleged, and she didn't either. Also, they could find that one of the 3 for each side was defamatory, and then you get the damages. You could see de minimis damages awarded to one or both sides, just as a statement that, you know what, you came here, you took up our time for 5 weeks, you both have bad reputations, I'm going to give you a de minimis amount. That's possible.
Janine, do you see any scenario in which, you know, jurors found that basically found against both sides, neither one defamed the other?
Muted. It so happens that we're going to have a verdict read in a little more than 1 hour and like 1 hour and 20 minutes, around 1 hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, 3 p.m. and it's 1:42 now. Oh my God, this was totally unexpected. I was telling everyone on Twitter that I was going to be like a verdict vigil in half an hour, but it was short in that half an hour. I had to jump in. We got a verdict. It's going to be read at 3 p.m. and I'm jumping in here. I'm sorry if I was not prepared in any way. I was doing a video on Charlene of Monaco at this moment. No, he doesn't have to be. Johnny doesn't have to be. It's not going to look good, but he didn't have to be here. I need to make a few things. Yes, finally verdict. In less than 1 hour and a half, we're going to have a verdict read. I don't understand why they're criticizing him for being on stage in the UK. We all know he is the survivor. Yes, but that's maybe like manners, I guess. But whatever. It's still, there's a verdict. There's something going on. We're going to have the closure today. At last, I think I have to adjust. Yes, much better here. This way. And I have to adjust my lights. I'm gonna keep talking. While I adjust my lights, but I have to fix a couple things first. I'm gonna be talking to you. You're gonna listen that I'm around here, but I have to fix the lights. My studio. Be with you right now. Thank you for maybe you're listening to me in a wacky way. All around. I have to fix the lights. They're too bright. Too bright. And let me play this at least. I played this.
I don't think that that's going to be the case here. I really do think it's going to go for Johnny Depp. I think that's what we're going to end up seeing. I mean, it's possible, but I just don't think it's likely.
Yeah, another question has to do with the judgment, right? The jury had to consider how much money to award either side.
Yeah.
And these are huge numbers, 50 million, 100 million. We know in Amber Heard's attorney's closing arguments,
yes.
Elaine Bredehoff said, look, we put $100 million because that's 2 times what Deb is asking for. We don't expect that, but do you think that whoever the jury has found in favor, there'll be a real significant number here? I mean, these are celebrities, as we've talked about. They've certainly run up real huge legal bills, and certainly most would argue Johnny Depp, has a much greater net worth probably, than Amber Heard, who's a newer celebrity. But you think we're going to see any real significant monetary judgments, Gene?
I think it's a 50-50 chance. I think one comment in closing, and I hate to be a Monday morning quarterback, when the attorney for Heard said, we put in $100 million, but we really don't want that amount. Okay, you put up an expert to try and prove your damages, and now you're telling me that you asked for $100 million, but you really didn't want that. That wasn't a good look. But for Johnny Depp, I think his expert and the data he presented to the jury, if they find that the defamation, the defamatory statement caused that amount, I think he could get that. It's possible. And when I say possible, it doesn't mean it's highly likely or likely. It's possible.
Yeah, keep your fingers crossed for Johnny.
Anything is possible, right? And it's interesting because Jesse agreed with you on that point that Bredehoff shouldn't say, we don't really want $100 million. On the other hand, people are accusing Amber of being money hungry and just out for money and all of this. Janine, what do you think? What kind of money could we see awarded here, if any?
Well, I think that you could also see a really significant amount above and beyond, because remember, in this case, the jury can award punitive damages. And I go back to, if Depp is the prevailer here, I go back to that tape of Amber laughing at him and taunting him, and the tape of her saying, go to a court, go to a jury, see if they believe you.
That was one of the hot
this
topics
jury may decide that they want to give
what was
punitive
the damages. The topic of the damages was a complex one. I want to read. I want to read your comments. As I said, was totally unexpected. I was preparing to do this in like 20 minutes or so and just jump in because I didn't know how long it was going to be. Now we know it's going to be in 1 hour and a bit more than 1 hour. Yeah, no, I'm not criticizing Johnny. He's allowed to go and play here in the UK with his band, keeps his mind busy, lay off him. Yes, I agree. I agree. He has all the rights. They are talking about the taxpayers who will have to. I don't know. It has something to do with the entire trial. The statement of defamation is on the title of the op-ed, and the title are the words sexual violence, then he should win the defamation about it. I don't see any reason how Amber could win. She admitted that she wrote that in context with Johnny and her relationship. Yeah, of course, it was said so many times, and it was even in that 2016 deposition, she, in the 2016 deposition, there was that slip of the tongue that she just leaked that kitchen cabinets video to TMZ. That she just let it slip. If you give me some time, I can find it for you. Yeah, apparently they have reached a verdict that we're going to be reading at 3 p.m. That is a little more than 1 hour and 10 minutes. See, let me pop out the chat here, so in case that we have to, or I have to switch to text mode, and I can be ready to be on text mode. So I was just thinking, I told you that I expected this today, Wednesday, but so far at this time, I thought that it was gonna take another day, so I was going to do that. Just a video watching Johnny again, what was his recollections. We could play. We could wait for the verdict by watching another clip of Johnny. Let me see if I can fix something. Let me fix something here. Okay, let me play this.
This is doing civil tax cases, and here's what happens. You get a money judgment, and that money judgment haunts you for the rest of your life. Whatever property she gets in the future, they can file liens, they can get garnishments. It's going to follow either Mr. Depp or Ms. Heard for the rest of their life, that money judgment, until it's satisfied.
It doesn't seem like that would be, a good thing. And there's been so much speculation. Will either of the careers rebound? Whoever loses, is their career over? I mean, really, it's more of a question for like a PR person or an image consultant. I mean, we don't, we can't really say for sure. But I think, to your point, many people have said that Johnny Depp has won in the court of public opinion. That this is going to probably be pretty good for his career, whether he lost the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie or not. Let's go to another question. And by the way, I just want to remind our viewers, because this question was from the UK, so many of our questions are coming from Norway, from all over, so many international viewers watching this coverage live, so much international interest that, remember, all of this media behind us, Long Crimes here, of course, all of the American networks are here, the local news is here, but a lot of these cameras that are lined up outside and have been here the whole trial are from all over the world. There are multiple crews from the UK, there are crews from Germany. I mean, there has been so much interest. Everyone has descended because, of course, the verdict is arguably, the biggest.
Instead to find a clip, I was watching, in fact, one of these highlights of Johnny's testimony. I'm gonna look for it now, and this has to be, yes, gonna find. Yeah, my percentage of Johnny winning was 95% at the end. It's still 95%. He should be winning. We don't know what will be the damages, the amount of damages granted, but well, at least we want him to win. I'm gonna look for that video. There's a video. Let me see if I can download it. Okay. It was the highlights of Johnny's. I think I was watching it on my mobile phone. I think I was watching it. Johnny Depp explains his childhood struggles. Yes. Okay, this is the one that I was watching. Yes, I'm gonna switch over to this video. I'm gonna keep playing the other, just to remember this. I think it's relevant to remember this video. It was really heartbreaking to listen to Johnny.
Be able to observe.
Now, Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn.
I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I start to see when she was about to head
Now,
into
Mr.
a
Depp, I'd like to turn a bit to your
wait a minute.
upbringing.
I have a problem with
head into a situation where she was going to get riled up.
Okay, I had a problem with audio. Now it should be going nice and sweet.
I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I know that I'm doing the right thing.
Now, Mr. Depp, I'd like to turn a bit to your upbringing. We heard a bit from your sister Christy last week, but can you please tell the jury in your own words about your childhood upbringing?
I had a very interesting childhood, one that I thought was normal until a certain age. My mother, I was born in Kentucky, and then we moved, in which we moved around quite a lot when I was a kid. So you were always just, my mom had this, her feet were on fire and she had to move, you know, so we moved constantly. So you were always the new kid, and that wasn't ever particularly pleasant. Then we moved to Florida, South Florida, when I was about 7 or 8. And again, moved several times. But my mother was quite unpredictable. She was very unpredictable. She was she had the ability to be as cruel as anyone can be with all of us. That is to say, my sister Christy and my brother Danny and my sister Debbie, and also my father. So, essentially, she was, she could become quite violent, and she was quite violent, and she was quite cruel, and though there was physical abuse, certainly, which could be in the form of an ashtray being flung at you, you know, it hit you in the head, or you'd get beat with a high-heel shoe or a telephone or whatever's handy. So in our house, there was no, we were never exposed to any type of safety or security. The only thing that one could do, really, was to try to stay out of the line of fire. I started to be able to observe, and I could start to see when she was about to head into a situation where she was going to get riled up, and somebody was going to get it. Generally, it was me.
Mr. Depp, you mentioned that your mother could be cruel. How could she be cruel?
Well, the various categories, I suppose, there's physical violence, of course, there's physical abuse, to which she was, that was a constant. That was just a constant, you know. We were all somewhat shell-shocked, you know, even if she just walked past us, you'd sort of shield yourself because you didn't know what was going to happen. Excuse me. And so there was the physical abuse, which was a constant. There was quite a lot of verbal abuse. There was quite a lot of name calling and bullying. You know, making fun of whatever defect, you know, one might have. You know, if my brother wore glasses, so of course he was four eyes, or and his teeth were messed up in the front, so he was buck-toothed as well. My sister Christy, which this is such a hideous psychological play. My father's parents were quite refined. My mother comes from Eastern Kentucky, which is where you grow up in shacks and hollers, you know, and my mother despised my father's parents, and my grandmother's name was Violet, and every now and again you would hear my mother just scream across the house, "Come here, Violet, get in here, Violet." And Christy, my sister, knew very well that that was a deep cut, psychologically, emotionally, but we had to take it. I mean, you just had to take the pain. I was born with a very strange, there's a very rare thing in my eye, as the back of the lens is spherical. Normally is spherical, so in this eye it isn't normal. This eye, I was born with a more conical lens, so my brain never learned to see out of my left eye, and they noticed when I was about 3, 4 that I had a lazy eye, a wandering eye, and she would call me cockeye, one eye, anything she could get to demean, humiliate. I even had to wear an eye patch on my good eye to strengthen my bad eye, so that it would cease to wander. It was exercising the muscles of the eye, though the brain had never learned to see. So I still, my vision in my left eye is, I'm legally blind in my left eye. But so yeah, the verbal abuse, the psychological abuse was almost worse than the beatings, because the beatings were just physical pain, and the physical pain you learn to deal with, you learn to accept it, you learn to deal with it. But the psychological and emotional abuse, that's what kind of tore us up, I think.
What about your father? What was he like?
My father was a very kind man. In fact, my father's still alive. He's a very kind man. He's a very quiet man. In fact, he's very shy. Not a confrontational person in any way. And when Betty Sue, my mother, would go off on a tangent toward my father, and of course in front of the kids it was no matter to her. He amazingly remained very, very stoic, and never, as she was rationing him with horrible things, he stood there and just looked at her while she delivered the pain, and he swallowed it. He took it. There was never one moment, never a moment when my father lost control and attacked my mother or hit my mother or even said a bad thing to my mother. The things that I witnessed were, there were a couple of times when it got too far, that I could see his eyes welling up as he was staring at her, saying nothing. And then the most that he would do is he would punch a wall. I once saw him punch a wall and shatter his hand because it wasn't drywall. It was proper concrete and steel wire and rebar and things of that nature. And but still, never touched her, never argued with her. He remained a gentleman, and to me, as a 5-year-old boy, I kept thinking to myself, I kept wondering why does he take it? How does he take this? And why doesn't he leave her? But he didn't, you know. He was able to.
I want to make an observation about this. You realize that one of the characteristics of Johnny's family dynamics is watching his mother do this all this abuse to him, to his father, and his siblings, and especially look the other authority figure at home that was his father. Never really standing up to her, never like confronting her. That's something that might have conditioned or might have been something that I don't know how to say the word. What would the word in this case will be part of his nurturing to see that his father did not stand against his mother. Okay, well, it was in all these ways maybe a passive enabler. Okay, that it's not that taking the responsibility from his father, but it's something that children observe. The children observe and absorb too. So that is important to understand this kind of dynamics. It's not easy. It's not easy to realize this, but yes, it's something that can happen.
Maintain his calm and his composure. He was able to maintain his relationship with his children. He was a good man. He is a good man.
You mentioned that you saw your father punch a wall. How many times did you witness that?
I mean, out of, I couldn't count the amount of fights that they had, but I know that I've seen my father strike a wall 2 or 3 times tops. Once when he broke his hand, but yeah, 2-3 times at tops, you know.
Was your father ever abusive to you or any of your siblings?
No, my father was not an abusive man. At the same time, my father was also, to some degree, at the mercy of Betty Sue, because if he argued with what she wanted done, that would just turn into another barrage of hatred towards him. So I can remember my father coming home from work, and maybe I'd gotten a bad report card, or maybe I'd gotten in trouble at school, or something like that. And my father would arrive home from work, and the first thing she would say was, "John, take him out there. He gets the belt. Give him the belt." And he wanted to know what it was about, so he'd take me out to the garage, and I'll never forget this white, thick leather 1970s era, thick leather white belt that he would take off, and then he would commence to inflict the punishment on me. But interestingly, there was one time when my father, I kept telling him I didn't do this. It was another incident. I kept swearing to him that I did not do what Betty Sue, what my mom had said that I'd done. But he went through with the punishment anyway. And then, not long after, he found out that I had been telling the truth and that I hadn't done what my mom had said that I'd done. And he came to me and apologized to me for having gone through with the whipping, with the belt. And I have to say, my mom never did that. She couldn't. She knew what she knew. She was raised how she was raised. And I had no power to change what was inside of her,
How did your parents' relationship ultimately come to an end, to your understanding?
When my father left, I didn't realize that he had left. He left for, I was 15. I had already left school, and I was a musician. I was playing in clubs and such. And he left for work one morning, just like every day, and was packing his car, and then he left. And then hours later, my mom, Betty Sue, came home from work. It was about 3:30 in the afternoon. And she walked in the door and stopped and just looked around like she felt something. And I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "Your daddy's gone." I said, "Well, yeah, I seen him leave for work this morning." She said, No, he's gone. And she ran into their bedroom and into their closet, and I followed her, and she opened the door, and there was his rack of clothing and all his belongings were gone. And she was quite upset. And I took her car and drove to my father's work, and I sat down in front of him at 15, and I said, "Listen, seems as though somebody stole all your clothes out of the closet." And he said, "Yeah. He said, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't live it anymore. You're the man. You're the man now." And those words didn't quite sit well with me. I didn't feel like I was ready to hear those words. But that's what I got. Then my mom went into a very, very dark place, a very deep, dark depression, as you can imagine. And one afternoon I woke up, I'd fallen asleep, and I woke up and walked out into the living room, and I saw my mother, very feebly, and like almost, it was like a slow motion crawl. If I could stand up, I could show you just what I saw. Do you mind? Do you want?
You can stand up.
Thank you. I saw my mother, you know, in that mode. So instantly, I knew that something was dreadfully wrong, and there was drool coming out of her mouth. And as I was about to run and call, the front door busted open, and my uncle and two paramedics came in and threw on the gurney and whisked her out of the house to get her to the hospital to pump her stomach. And she had swallowed a multitude of pills to try to take herself out, to try to commit suicide. And when she got out of the hospital, she was a small firecracker of a woman. She was about 5'2". But when she got out of the hospital, the depression was so deep. She was down to she lived on the couch, and she weighed about 70 pounds. And that, all that imagery spun into my head at that time, that I thought that was in my head at the time, I thought that was a cowardly way for my father to have left. And I was deeply upset by that. Until my father and I had a conversation years later, where I asked him what really happened, how did it happen when I was older, and he told me the story.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Sure.
So as I'm telling you, tomorrow I'll be, I don't know, maybe 9 a.m., 10 a.m. GMT, London time, with the Jubilee celebrations. I have no idea which channel or live signal can I get, but I will just try. I will do my best to find how to watch and comment
Mr.
the
Depp,
Jubilee
how did you feel
celebrations
about your
here.
father when he left?
40 minutes to go.
I was very disappointed in him, because I started to believe that his exit was sneaky, cowardly. He when he said goodbye to me, when he left for work that morning, he just said goodbye, goodbye, Bob. And I went, see you later, Pop. That was it. Until I learned the truth from him.
And without getting into what your father told you, how has your impression of your father changed now?
Objection, relevance.
Your Honor, this is just an understanding of his perception of his family.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Mr. Depp, what have you learned from your experience in your childhood and observing your father in your childhood?
I learned that I was wrong about my first impressions of his exit from the family. Very wrong. And I'll tell you one thing that I learned that was one of the best lessons I believe I've ever learned in my life, ever could learn in my life, was based on my experiences as a child and what I'd seen and experienced. I knew exactly how to raise children when my girl Vanessa got pregnant. I knew exactly how to raise children, which was to do the opposite of what they did, of what Betty Sue did. Never raise your voice in front of the children, never. Screaming out the word no to them. I never wanted to tell my kids no. I wanted to tell them that I wanted to show them that there were options. You don't have to stick the coat hanger in the electrical socket. You know, saying no is an abrupt thing, but to talk to them and say, if you understand the repercussions of something, then you won't go there.
Okay, there's another video that I could play here. I have that and have this around. This is another. Let us watch the other side of the coin, if you know what I mean. This will be nice.
Like when I was around. Why are you here? I am here because my ex-husband
I don't know why the sound is so low.
is suing me for an op-ed I wrote.
And how do you feel about that?
I struggle to have the words. I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is. This is horrible for me to sit here for weeks and relive everything. So
No use if we cannot hear the clip. So
Mr. Depp, I'd like to now turn to your relationship with Ms. Heard. Can you please tell the jury how you met Ms. Heard?
2000, in around 2008, Hunter Thompson and I were going through some of his manuscripts of his books that have been published, and then
just in case, let me see if I can find
manuscript in one of his boxes, and it was called The Rum Diary, and I had heard about it, and I knew it was what they called his long-lost novel, in fact the only novel he ever wrote. And I showed it to him. Hunter was shocked. Oh my God, that's where it is, you know. And so he said, read me some. So I started reading this to him, and he said,
Let's try this one.
this is a movie.
Let's try this other video.
We must produce
I'm trying
this
to look
together.
for one that's interesting. Let's. I want to hear Amber's lies. Let's see if the sound of this one is better.
Of the bedroom of the we were in the bedroom this whole time, but up against the wall of the cabin, and slams me up by my neck and holds me there for a second and tells me that he could kill me. And that was an embarrassment. I was embarrassing. It was an embarrassment. This whole thing was a joke. It was all embarrassment. I made him feel sick. And I'll never forget. I'm very, very, very much in love with this whole family now. And he's saying I'm embarrassing to him. And that somehow stuck in me more than the I could kill you. It just sounded like hyperbole. It sounded like something he was just saying, but the names that he was calling me, well, kind of just pushing me up against the wall by my neck, you know, it hurt my feelings. It hurt. Whitney, my sister, all of a sudden put herself in between Johnny and I. She just threw herself like in the line of fire or whatever. She just all of a sudden was there and was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I just see my little sister with her back her back to the staircase, and Johnny swings at her, and I don't even wait for any other, I don't hesitate, I don't wait, I just in my head instantly think of Kate Moss and the stairs, and I swung at him. In all of my relationship to date with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. And I, for the first time, hit him. Like, actually hit him. Square in the face. Proceeds to do a cavity search? He said he was looking for his drugs, his cocaine, his coke. I was wondering how somebody who didn't do cocaine and was against it, that was in and of itself causing problems in our relationship. How could I hide? Why would I hide his drugs from, like he was insinuating that I was doing it or something? It made no sense. And he was telling me we're gonna conduct a cavity search, shall we? Like, just shoved his fingers inside me. I just stood there staring at the stupid light. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there. He got next to my ear and he was screaming over and over and over again. Each time it sounded louder and more desperate. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Over and over. Hate you. And then pounding the back of my head, pounding it with his fist. And I don't even remember feeling pain. I just could hear myself scream until I couldn't hear myself anymore. I could just hear him say that he was going to kill me. And that he sounded like an animal in pain when he was saying that he hated me. He sounded like he was almost crying, or something in his voice was different. We got in an argument in the hotel room, and I said, I don't remember what I said to him, but I said something snotty to him that provoked him. It provoked him, and when I walked into the hallway, he grabbed me by the arm and slammed me up against the hallway wall, and I kind of struggled with him, tried to push him off of me, and I managed to get out of his grasp enough to take a few steps, and I kind of curved around and went into the closet. And by the time I made it into the closet, he had me by the hair, and what felt like he was just wailing on me, but in a really sloppy way, like hitting the back of my head, and kind of wrestled me down to the floor. I mean, it felt to me like I didn't even have a fair shot, because I wasn't facing him or looking at him. I was walking away from him. Or else, I would have at this point even I would have tried to defend myself more, but I didn't. I kind of felt like it didn't see it coming. And because I'm not answering him, I was looking out of the window, and he slaps my face. And his friend is in our proximity. And it didn't hurt my face. It just felt embarrassed that he would do that to me in front of people. It was the first time that anything like that had happened in front of somebody. And I feel this boot in my back. He just kicked me in the back. I fell to the floor. I caught myself on the floor, and I just felt like I was looking at the floor of the plane felt like a long time. And I thought to myself, I don't know what to do. I can't believe did he just kick me? No one said anything. No one did anything. It was like you could hear a pin drop on that plane. It was this other thing. And no one told him. No one was honest with him. No one, he'd pass out.
And again, do you know whether she was wearing any Amica cream?
Sir, if you could just answer the
I'm sorry.
question.
I'm totally sorry.
Thank
sorry.
you, sir.
That, no.
Mr. Burch, how do you feel about what Mr. Depp has done for you?
Objection. Well, you know what? No, I'll go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I think that's withdrawn. Go ahead. You can answer the question.
Oh.
Could just answer the.
Do you have any knowledge of the skills of Amber Heard with respect to putting on makeup?
Well, it can't be that good because she's got a friend who is a makeup artist who came over to do makeup, but I don't really know.
Yeah. Say goodbye.
I'm not understanding any of what you just did.
Okay, so now you know that Ms. Heard was.
Excuse me. I didn't
sorry?
hear the beginning of what you started saying.
I said, let's start.
He looked at me and says, I got an idea. How about I be your patron and we put together an art show, make a body of work, and then I'll throw a party and invite people, and I'll sell the stuff for you, and you could keep all the money. So he didn't buy any paintings there. Instead, he offered me a complete patronship.
So what did you understand he meant by becoming your patron?
Well, he was going to financially make it possible for me to just paint every day and put together a body of work, so that way then it could be sold.
Did you take him up on that offer to live at the Eastern Columbia building?
Yeah, of course.
And how did that make you feel?
I started crying. One day you're in your mother's garage selling paintings for $100, $200, $300 on eBay. Next thing you know, it's an art show, and like you don't have to worry about diddly squat. Of course. I was flipping out.
When did you move into the Eastern Columbia building?
The next day after we met and we talked.
And were you able to complete the paintings in a few months?
No, it's after. It took me in order to make 2 large-scale paintings. It took me like almost 2 months, and I'm start freaking out, going. I'm only got 2 paintings, and all right, I got to do 25. I said a few months, so I ended up going to Johnny's place and saying, "Hey, look, dude, this is going to take a lot longer than a few months. I could only make 2 paintings."
And how did Mr. Depp react?
He looks at me and he starts laughing and he says, "Ike, don't worry. I do not care. I just want you to paint however long it takes. I want you to paint every day."
Mr. Bruge, during your time living at the Eastern Columbia building, did you develop a relationship with the defendant in this case, Ms. Heard?
Yeah.
And did you get along with Ms. Heard?
I loved her. I fell in love with her just like Johnny fell in love with her. I fell in love with her. She's totally respectful, gracious to me, that she's got great teeth, that she treated me with complete respect. Anytime I walk into the humor-wise, total locker room humor, demented humor, totally laughed at, the jokes, made the jokes, totally got along with her. Every time I walked into their place, "Isaac, you want something to eat? Isaac, you want something to drink?" Every time. There's only one time I remember that she didn't offer, because I walked in and she's in the kitchen at the counter and she's doing a beauty facial mask, and so she can't offer me. And I'm going, "Hey, is that something that can help me?" And she looked at me and she goes, "No." And I'm laughing, and then she laughed after because she didn't realize she was making a joke. So, yeah,
Mr.
I loved her. And Johnny had called me, says, "Hey, come over, meet my girl," and so I did. And then the next day, they came over to my place for the first time to see how I had set up the art studio, the lights, and just what's my painting set up and stuff, and to look at other paintings. And they walked in, and I remember the first thing she said was, "I hope we didn't keep you up last night because of all the yelling." And I looked at her and I says, "No, these walls are like 3 feet thick. I don't hear diddly squat."
Since you've known them, did you ever see them get physically violent with each other?
Never.
Did you ever see them argue?
Yes.
How many times?
Probably like twice.
Okay. Can you describe the arguments that you witnessed?
The first argument that I remember was walking in. It was a telephone argument. Johnny's at the kitchen table and he's screaming about something, and on the other line, because it's on speaker, and he's talking with the phone at the phone. The other person is Amber, and that she's in New York, and he's at the kitchen table, and they're arguing, and he's going, "Who is it? Who is it?" And she's saying, "Oh, baby, come on, please don't. What are you doing, baby? Why are you being like this, baby?" And this went on for a little while, and I'm listening, and then he hangs up. She calls back again, and it's the same thing. "Who is it? What's going on? Who is it?" And she's saying, "Oh, come on, baby, don't be. What are you doing, baby?" And then hang up the phone again. The third time it happens, I'm saying there's no solution in this conversation. I grabbed the phone from him and I says, "Hey, Amber, this is Isaac. Listen, this conversation is now over." And I hung up the phone. And she didn't call back again, and he went to the couch and went to bed. We left the apartment, and we go walking back towards Penthouse 1, and as I'm walking back, I say to Amber, as I'm walking up, "He hit you?" And she goes, "Yeah, he threw a phone at me and hit me." And I'm looking, because I had just seen her 2 feet away, and I'm going, "Where?" And she puts her head out. She puts her face out like that for me to look at her, the right side of her face. And I'm looking, but at that point also, I'm looking, and I turn around, get on the other side. We're in the doorway. So I'm on this side with the light shining this way from the doorway with the lights above, but the sunshine. And she's got her face out like this, looking, to show me. And I'm looking, and I inspect the face. I'm looking at her forehead. I'm looking at the side of her eye. I'm looking at her cheek. I'm looking at her chin. I'm looking at the other side of the face. I'm looking at the whole thing. And I don't see anything. I don't see anything I don't see a cut, a bruise, swelling, redness. It's just Amber's face that she's going like this and showing me. So I'm not seeing anything. I back up and I'm making a joke. I make a joke going, "Well, I don't see anything, but maybe all the beauty from one side of your face to the other side of the face is outshining everything, so I can't see anything." And she's laughed and she's, smiled. And I just looked at everybody and said, "Hey, it sounds nuts." And I went and I said, "I gotta go." And I gave her a hug and kissed her on that side of the face. Kissed her on that side of the face. And then I left. Said goodbye.
What was her reaction when you kissed her on that side of the face?
Nothing.
Did she flinch?
No. Well, after closing the door, Whitney, who calls me her spirit animal, came running down the hallway going, "Isaac, spirit animal." And I'm going, "Hey, listen, I'm not feeling so hot. I'm not feeling so good." And I duck under her arms, "Stop. And I love you, but stop." And I duck under her arms and I go past, and I'm passing the other ladies, Amber and her, who she's with, and I'm looking at them, and they're laughing of this whole scene, and then that was it. And then I went past and went down and got some hot tea. It's to my back because I'm walking in, and so that's like this, and saying, "All right, hey, all right, enjoy yourself, have a good time," or whatever you're doing, and go by. And I went up. And that was it. That was the second time that I saw her. And that's on Tuesday.
And did you get a good look at her face during that second encounter?
Absolutely. The sun shining right on her face.
Did you notice anything unusual about her face?
Nothing. No cuts, no bruises, no swelling, no redness, no. It's Amber. It's Amber's face. After the weekend, around at probably Monday, either Sunday or Monday, I'm on the internet and I end up seeing a picture of, it was the Friday of that week, the past week, and there's a picture of Amber wearing a black morning dress and with this brown mark on her cheek. And that she's been to a divorce, she went to go file for divorce. That's how I found out.
Were you surprised when you saw that?
Surprised is not the word. It's like, what the hell is this? What's going on?
When did you see Ms. Heard next after that?
She knocks on my door June 3rd, Friday, a Friday night, June 3rd. She knocks on my door around 11 o'clock is the next time that I see her.
And what happened when she knocked on your door on June 3rd?
I opened up the door, and naturally, something I'll say is, "Hey, how you doing?" To say hello. So I open up the door and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And she looks at me and she says, "I'm not feeling so hot that I made some food. Would you like to come over and eat with me? And at that point, after, everything I've seen, I looked at her, I said, listen, me and you, we're not going to talk anymore. After everything that I've just seen all week long, from the past week and change, listen, I'm confused, I'm angry, and I'm frustrated by everything that I've seen. And that I think the best thing is for me and you that we don't talk anymore.
Did she say anything in response?
Yes, in response to that, she looks at me and she says, I told Johnny I don't want anything. The lawyers are making me do all of this. And that's what she said.
Did you respond to Ms. Heard?
No, what I was thinking was to me, after saying that, after she said that to me, I'm thinking to myself, gay cock'em yum, hey, how,
Did you see any injuries on Ms. Heard's face on June 3rd when you spoke with her?
No.
Did you ever speak with Ms. Heard again after that?
Well, she said to me after that, the lawyers are making me do all of this. Then I was just looking at her, and then she ended what she was saying by saying, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. And I closed the door and would never talk to her ever again.
Mr. Baruch, did you have any interactions with the staff of the Eastern Columbia building about Ms. Heard's allegations against Mr. Depp?
Yes.
And at some point, did you see a security video taken in the Eastern Columbia building?
Yes.
When was that?
Sometime in June, maybe 2 weeks in or something like that. It's 2-3 weeks in.
Can you describe what you saw in that video?
Yes, I can. It was a video of Amber and Whitney waiting at the elevator, a mezzanine level, coming from the garage, obviously, and waiting for the elevator. And Whitney does this to Amber. Pow! And hits her, like faking hitting her in the face. Going, pow! And then they start laughing.
Did Ms. Heard react at all in that video to the fake punch that you observed Whitney throw?
Yeah, she's laughing. After doing it, they both, laughing at with each other.
Mr. Baruch, do you know who Elon Musk is?
Sure.
Have you ever seen Mr. Musk in person?
Yeah.
Where did you see him in person?
First time was I'm getting into the elevator on the rooftop, penthouse level. I'm going into the elevator, and he's coming out of the elevator, going past me.
And when did that take place?
This is after May. This is sometime June, it could be July, but after May.
In that same year, 2016?
Yeah.
And when was the second time that you saw Mr. Musk?
One morning waking up and going and opening up the shades to the bedroom, and it's on the second floor, and it overlooks the balconies, our adjoining balconies, because my balcony joins with John and Amber's balcony. And that opening up the shades, I see Elon Musk going through the balcony door on their side to then walk down a common corridor that then at the end leads to a door that you walk out to the rest of the rooftop. And you go to the pool, you go to the gym and stuff. So I'm looking out, and the view out the window is of both of our balconies. So that's where I saw him.
Mr. Baruch, how do you feel about what Mr. Depp has done for you?
Objection. Well, you know what? No, I'll go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. I think that's withdrawn. Go ahead. You can answer the question.
Oh.
Could just answer the question, sir.
And the question is...
How do you feel about everything that Mr. Depp has done for you?
Oh, come on. It's unreal. It's, you think too much about it, you're gonna cry. That I appreciate everything that he's done for me. You know, it's like stuff you can't pay back.
Now, you know that Ms. Heard was...
Excuse me. I
I'm
didn't
sorry?
hear the beginning of what you started saying.
I said, let's start with the makeup.
Okay.
Okay. You're aware that Ms. Heard has both modeled and been an actor and had been for many years before you met her, correct?
I knew she acted. I didn't know she was a model.
Okay. Were you aware that she had a commercial agreement with L'Oreal, for example?
When, now or back then?
What's your knowledge?
I don't know any of that.
Okay. Have you ever been with Ms. Heard when she has put makeup on?
I've been in the room, yeah, when makeup was getting put on her, yeah.
When makeup was being put on her, was this for some acting role or something like that?
It was an event that they were going to.
So that was somebody else applying makeup to Ms.
Yeah.
Heard, who was going to have some gala event that she was going to.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been with Ms. Heard in her bathroom or anything when she's applying her makeup in the morning?
No.
Okay. Are you familiar with Amica cream?
What is it?
Amica?
Amica?
Yes.
No.
Okay. Do you
What the
know
hell
what
is
type
Amica
of
cream?
foundation
What is
Ms.
that?
Heard uses?
No.
Do you
Yeah, I know
what type of concealer
the
Ms.
courtroom
Heard
is about to go up. As soon as it's up, I'm watching
Do
it
you know
right
what
here.
type
I'm
of
gonna
tint
switch the
Ms. Heard
camera.
uses?
I'm watching it right now. There's still
Do you know
no
what types of powders Ms. Heard uses?
real action now. As soon as action arrives, it begins happening, I will
When
switch.
you're saying that you didn't notice any makeup, would it be fair to say that you yourself are not familiar with what type of makeup Amber Heard uses on a daily basis?
I don't know what she uses on a daily basis.
That's my point. Now, the first time that you saw her, which was May 22nd,
Yeah.
Ms. Heard was there. Were you aware she was on her way to somebody else's birthday party, not yours, but somebody else's that day?
No.
Okay. Can you tell me what her hairstyle was that day?
It's just down.
Down as in,
Just regular. She has it up now. She's got some kind of hairstyle, but no, she was no hair down, regular, no makeup, just hanging.
well, when you say no makeup, you don't know she was not wearing makeup, correct?
For a fact?
Correct.
No.
And you don't know whether she had applied Amica cream, correct?
No.
And
I
you-
didn't even know what Amica cream is.
And you don't know whether she had applied concealer or foundation or powder or tint, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, if she's going out to a party,
Yeah.
do you think she would want to have her bruise exposed?
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the objection?
Calls for speculation.
All right, I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
Next question.
So, do you recall what Ms. Heard was wearing that day?
You know something? I could have sworn she had on a schmata dress, hippie dress at that particular time, but I could be confusing it with June 3rd. She's got this Victorian type of long hippie dress that has embroidery, and she definitely was wearing that night.
Do you have any knowledge of the skills of Amber Heard with respect to putting on makeup?
Well, it can't be that good because she's got a friend who is a makeup artist who came over to do makeup, but I don't really know.
Now, you said that on the 22nd that you kissed her on the cheek.
What day?
The 22nd, your birthday?
22nd, Sunday, yes.
Okay, so when you showed it the first time, you went like this, right? And then the next time when you said you did the kisses, you went like this. What's your typical way of kissing women when you greet them or say goodbye?
I'm not understanding any of what you just did.
Okay, so when you, well, I'll just leave it at Amber. When you, I take it that you would regularly kiss Amber on the cheek when you to say hello and to say goodbye?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And tell us how you did that.
Objection,
Can you just
Your Honor.
show us how you did that?
Which time? Regularly?
Did you have a different way of kissing her on the cheek different times? Or did you have a general way that you would greet or say goodbye to Amber with
Well,
kisses?
this is ridiculous.
Regular- it's
Elaine, go
regular,
home. Please.
You give a peck on the cheek, or, like you just touch cheeks and
Okay.
that's that.
So it's a pretty soft, it's kind of like almost a superficial one, or is it a really hard one on the cheek?
No, it's, just, you kiss someone on the side of the cheek. I don't know, pressure-wise, what kind of talk is there?
I mean, is it just
talk?
one of these little pecks, or is it much harder?
No, it's a regular. You touch, you touch and boom, and that's that.
So you think it was pretty hard? You peck her on the cheek pretty hard every time?
Objection, Your Honor.
No, I'll sustain
Seriously,
objection on the next
Elaine,
question.
why?
You also showed that you did one like this. Did you ever do a two kiss when you greeted Amber? Two cheeks?
No, I'm not European. I'm from Brooklyn.
No.
You give, Europeans do the,
All right.
both sides. Sometimes you even three. Bam, bam, bam. But
you never did that?
No.
And I think you testified already, you're pretty angry with Ms. Hurd, right?
When?
I wrote it down that you
Oh,
were...
about all the phony.
You're inside the courtroom right now, where everyone is assembled. Just about 4 minutes to go until 3 o'clock, when we expect to see the judge come in and call the jury in.
Okay, still out. I think we can wait here already because
For the reading of this verdict. Linda, we know there are a bunch of questions. There were a bunch of points on the special verdict form. How long do you think this will take?
Well, you're going to get a feel right away, because I have the special verdict form from Johnny Depp right in front of us, because our producers are just so great in getting it. I also have the one for Amber Heard. The jury form is about 4 pages long. It will go pretty fast. It won't be longer than 10 minutes right here, and maybe less. If they find no cause of action, for instance, on 1A, if they answer to, do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation on that first quotation regarding sexual violence, then they don't answer the other questions. They go right to number 2. And if they don't find that, the likelihood is they won't find for him on any of them. And the same with Amber Heard. So it's going to be under 10 minutes, Stacey.
Okay, that's good to know. And just a reminder of viewers, what we expect to happen here, if this just takes 10 to 15 minutes, the jurors, once they're let back in the jury room, they'll later be dismissed. But we expect the legal teams for both sides will come out and give some remarks. Other players in this as well. Unclear whether anyone will hear anything from Amber Heard immediately after this. And by the way, if you look on the screen, she is seated there in the courtroom awaiting the verdict with the rest of us. An interesting question that we got from Haley Howell on Facebook. Has the judge already heard the verdict, or will she be hearing it for the first time when we do as well? Janine, do you want to take that one? Okay. Janine has left us. We thank her for her time. Linda, the judge is going to hear the verdict just when we do, right?
Stacey, I'm sorry. I thought Nima was going to field that one, but I'll field it. Yes,
the judge. Nima, please take it, Nima.
What?
Guys, I'm out here in our Studio A. It's hot. It's humid. I can't see all of you in the monitor. So, Nima, please, will the jury hear? Will the judge rather be hearing the verdict for the first time when we do?
The judge is going to get to see it, I guess, maybe 30, 45 seconds before, and then at that point, yeah.
I think we can change back to Isaac while the judge arrives.
Both sides. Sometimes you even three. Bam, bam, bam.
But you never did
no.
that.
No.
And I think you testified already, you're pretty angry with Ms. Heard, right?
When?
I wrote it down that you
Oh,
were.
about all the phony pictures that were taken and put in tabloids, and about the fake narrative, and about and the way she's trying to got a fraudulent DV claim to extort and blackmail a man. Yeah, that kind of got me
Pretty angry with it.
frustrated, confused, angry, upset. Yes, which is why I said the best thing for us to do is not to talk to each other.
Okay.
Yes.
Switch to live.
For the jury?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Just for everybody in the gallery, reminder that this is a court of law, and regardless of the verdict, I will not tolerate any outbursts whatsoever. Okay? Thank you. If I could have the attorneys approach for a moment.
Okay, I have to mute. I think my heart is pounding on the mic now. Okay, so suspense.
All right, again, you're looking live in. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what I need you to do, I need to give the forms back to you. When you find for a defamatory statement, one or more, you need to fill out the compensatory damages. It has to be at least $1 for compensatory damages and up to whatever you feel the damages should be. Back to the operation room and do that for me, okay?
They have to fill in the blank of the damages. Oh my God! This is air pulling. I cannot stand this.
All right, so we'll be in recess till we hear back from them. Don't go too far, okay?
Okay, don't go too far. We will be here. You can rest assured that we will be here. Oh my God! This is really crazy. This is crazy. I cannot tell you anything else. Oh my God. Let me adjust. This is yeah, everybody, every single one of us is really nervous. Yeah, all we need Johnny's magic pills. Let me switch back to Isaac so he can soothe us a bit. Listen to him.
DV claim to extort and blackmail a man. Yeah, that kind of got me
Pretty angry with it.
frustrated, confused, angry, upset. Yes, which is why I said the best thing for us to do is not to talk to each other.
Okay. And,
Yes.
And was it fair to say you're still angry with her?
Oh, you know something? It's 6 years.
But
It's
we just heard you
6
give your
years.
version.
Am I angry anymore? I'm not, what I am is tired, and I want this all to end. Her to go heal, him to go heal. So many people have been affected by this malicious lie that she started and she created, and it's gone out the door and around the world. And so I can't even paint anymore. I've stopped painting for the last who knows how many years, and that's affected by stuff. I'm not angry at anybody. I want the best for her to take her, heal, and move on. And for Johnny, his family has been completely wrecked by all of this stuff, and it's not fair. It's not right what she did and what happened for so many people to get affected from this. It's insane.
And Mr. Baruch?
How this happened.
I'll ask this.
Okay.
Mr. Baruch, you don't know whether Mr. Depp has committed domestic violence of Amber Heard, do you?
I never witnessed. I never saw or witnessed whatever type of claim that is being said, ever. Okay. I've never seen him be violent since teenagers from first meeting.
I didn't ask you that. I said you don't know whether he has committed domestic violence or abuse on Amber Heard. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. I did not witness any physical violence.
But you have seen Mr. Depp use drugs as well as drink and be drunk, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
My God, the drug defense.
I've just seen Mr.
said that they
Depp
were
doing
always nice to
drugs,
each other?
heavily
Yeah.
drinking,
Do
booze,
you ever
alcohol.
remember Mr.
For fuck's
Depp
sake.
referring to Amber with the term cunt?
Like to her face?
No, to you. Calling her a cunt to you.
Maybe in a text.
All right. Did he do it more than once in a text?
I would have no recollection of that. I mean, he's called me a cunt in a text. So I mean, it could be I don't know how many texts. If there's something specific, if you could show me a text, that would be a different story. I don't. We've had many texts together, many I'm not understanding the question. Say it again.
Do you recall Mr. Depp ever telling you that he hoped that Amber Heard's rotting corpse is decomposing in the fucking trunk of a Honda Civic?
Objection.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
You can answer the question, sir.
Yeah, I say yeah. I'm seeing it here, so obviously, yeah, it was said.
Do you have a drinking problem, Johnny?
Objection. Calls for hearsay. What the doctor.
A different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one. for him to cook. That's hearsay, I guess.
I'm not just sure it's offered for the truth of the matter asserted.
He got it.
Okay, all right, well then.
I'm learning.
There you go.
Let me put it a different way.
Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
And you wrote that about the, did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And you were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there?
It's my question to you, sir.
No, I wasn't drinking that heavily.
We can, let's turn to the UK
It's
116,
definition,
please.
what you define as heavily, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
Right. We're going to fast forward in time.
Amber's
a little bit,
face
Mr. Depp.
is everything.
Yes, I can feel it.
He'd
had a conversation with Ms. Heard.
Hearsay, Your Honor.
Let's move beyond the
All right, let's
conversation
move
that
on.
Kevin
Certainly.
Murphy had with Ms. Heard.
He said, yes, they had. Okay. And it appears that Ms. Heard had told...
Hearsay, Your Honor.
I'm not sure.
This is apparently a statement by Ms. Heard.
That he was...
described to Ms. Heard that...
I'll move to strike this as hearsay, Your Honor.
All right, I'll do that. Next,
And I...
Sorry, it's evidence.
next question, okay?
My former business managers were quite
Objection.
disturbing.
Hearsay.
I believe he said he showed him.
Yes, yes, I looked at papers. Maybe they're hearsay papers, I don't know.
I believe he was being shown financial documents.
All right, so,
Mr. Depp, I appreciate you've gotten a lot of chance to talk, and I'm trying to be respectful of the court's time and the jury's time. So I'm going to ask you that question again, because I think it's a pretty simple yes or no question, which is...
You'd like it to be, sir. Nothing simple in this case.
Other than mentioning the fact, the op-ed in the Washington Post, correct?
Objection, lack of foundation.
I'll allow it if you can answer it.
October is 2 months before December. That's correct.
This was a document that you signed as part of your divorce proceedings, correct?
That's my signature indeed, yes.
Okay. Mr. Depp, that is your signature on the right, correct?
Yes, it is.
Dated August 15th, 2016, right?
That's what it says, yes.
And this is this is a document you signed, right?
For the third time, that is my signature, yes,
Can you
sir.
go to paragraph 27, please? Did I read that right?
You did, Mr.
Let me take
Rottenborn.
that down, Michelle. And that was a document you signed in August of 2016, correct?
Is that the same one that I signed 3 times before? Yes,
Yeah.
that's the fourth.
Well, I wanted to make clear that you
You've
signed
made it
that in
clear.
the summer of 2016, 2 years before Ms. Heard published her op-ed.
I once gave Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much. Sorry.
All right. I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury. I have other uses for your throat which do not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
These are your words, sir, right? I read that right, correct?
You did. Okay. But so, yes,
You didn't
I
react.
did assault a couple of cabinets, but I did not touch Ms. Heard.
And
As you can see, I think, no. 333.
this is day 2. This is from the UK trial.
Yes, we seem to be there a lot. I was going to end up with a very ugly situation with Amber, so
Mr.
I
Depp,
doubled up
with respect,
the,
trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. My question was
I
simply,
understand. When
you
you
would
take 5
agree,
minutes to look for a
you would agree,
document.
you would agree that, let's do it this way. Let's pull up Exhibit 500, please.
500?
500, Defense Exhibit 500.
Defense Exhibit 500.
Yes, I'd like to see who I lied to.
Okay, and a very different thing from what you texted Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay, so the Boston flight was in May. Okay, well then let's do this. So is it your testimony that right after you cut your finger off, right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet, right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Sorry.
that you...
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
Thank you.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Just basically said in the...
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning
an
about this. It's
article.
not for the truth.
It is the truth. She's
If
asking.
you want to approach.
Please explain to the jury who Sean Bailey is. I think you were starting to.
Yes, I'll try again. Sean Bailey was quoted as saying that...
Objection, hearsay.
Mr. Depp, where was Sean Bailey quoted, without getting into what he was quoted as saying?
It's entitled Johnny Depp, Friends and Family Seriously Concerned About Him, Here's Why.
Yes,
Correct?
how did they know?
The next article from May, did I read that right?
You did, reportedly.
The next
These are
article,
all hit
also
pieces.
from May
These
10,
are drags, sir.
2017. Mr.
This
Depp,
is a pathetic attempt.
Mr. Depp, please just respond to the question that I'm asking you.
What's your
The next
question, Mr.
question,
Rottenborn?
the next document, did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
The next one, Hollywood Reporter, did I read that
Allegedly
correctly?
reports say, this is hearsay. is
June
it not?
21st,
Your
2018,
favorite word?
6 months before the op-ed was published, use an earpiece on a film set.
I think that was
I
explained
read
in
that
court
correctly?
the other day. Oh, you did, yeah.
Did I read that correctly?
You did. Who's Alison Boshoff and how does she know?
Okay, let's do something.
Mr.
I'm gonna
Depp, you
replay
can't
that
name a
moment
single
when
actress. You didn't want her acting. You
And
wanted
they
to control her
saw
career, correct?
Objection, calm
the
down.
actual.
Yes.
Let's replay that. See if I can replay that. See, we were
So
here.
fast, there was a little sidebar going on with the attorneys and the
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. My bad. My mistake. Wait a minute. Wait a second. I'm gonna try to find the exact moment when they. This is not live. This is the. We are watching what happened earlier. Okay, now, now it's gonna happen. 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 It's happening. Let's reload. We're live now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's the Batman boys. We needed the Batman boys back. This is it. It's happening.
right, Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury?
Yes.
All right, is it unanimous?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Jamie?
In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change. In the Washington Post online edition, quote, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 2. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, in the Washington Post online edition. Quote, then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of the statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to the statement appearing in the op-ed entitled A Transformative Moment for Women in the Washington Post print edition and the online op-ed, Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change, in the Washington Post online edition. Quote, I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse, end quote. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Mr. Depp proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, the statement was made or published by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Question, the statement has a defamatory implication about Mr. Depp? Answer, yes. Question, the defamatory implication was designed and intended by Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, due to circumstances surrounding the publication of this statement, it conveyed a defamatory implication to someone who saw it other than Mr. Depp. Answer, yes. Do you find that Mr. Depp has proven by clear and convincing evidence that Ms. Heard acted with actual malice? Answer, yes. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $5 million. In civil case number CL 2019-2911, Ms. Heard's claim against Mr. Depp. 1. As to this statement, appearing in the April 8, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as the sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. 2. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, quite simply, this was an ambush, a hoax. They set Mr. Depp up by calling the cops, but the first attempt did not do the trick. The officers came to the penthouses, thoroughly searched and interviewed, and left after seeing no damage to face or property. So Amber and her friends spilled a little wine and roughed the place up, got their story straight under the direction of a lawyer and publicist, and then placed a second call to 911, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. Has Ms. Heard proven by a greater weight of the evidence that, question, Mr. Waldman, while acting as an agent for Mr. Depp, made or published the statement? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was about Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was seen by someone other than Ms. Heard? Answer, yes. Question, the statement was false? Answer, yes. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven, by clear and convincing evidence, that the statement by Mr. Waldman was made with actual malice? Answer, yes. 3. As to this statement, appearing in the April 27, 2020 online edition of the Daily Mail, quote, we've reached the beginning of the end of Ms. Heard's abuse hoax against Johnny Depp, end quote. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, no. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $2 million. As against John C. Depp II, we, the jury, award punitive damages in the amount of $0.
All right. Does either side wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Jamie?
Members of the jury, if this is your verdict, please answer yes. If this is not your verdict, please answer no. Juror number 6. Yes. Juror number 10.
Yes.
Juror number 15.
Yes.
Juror number 16.
Yes.
Juror number 22.
Yes.
Juror number 27.
Yes.
Juror number 29.
Yes.
All right. I do find that the jury's verdict is unanimous. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes your service in this case. I want to thank you again for your dedication and your hard work during this trial. And I know I speak for everybody here when I tell you that we appreciate your sacrifices and your time and your public service in this matter, okay? So I'm going to have you go back to the jury deliberation room for one more time, and then we'll release you from there, okay? All right, thank you.
So was a lot of, I can say, Johnny won, actually won. There's a bit of legal.
All right.
Another.
Okay. In accordance with law, I will amend the punitive damages award to the statutory cap of $350,000 on Mr. Depp's award. Okay. I will set this down for entry of an order. And can we do it on June 24th at 10 a.m. if that's available? All right.
Yes,
Mr. Chu, if you could prepare that order and then circulate it to Ms. Bretterhoff, and we can have all the objections noted on it. All right.
We'll do that, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, and if I get it before that date, I'll take it off the docket, okay? All right, again, thank you to all the attorneys for your professionalism, and you're welcome to come to my courtroom anytime. Well, give me a few weeks, but then you can come anytime, okay? All right, court is adjourned. Thank you.
Your Honor.
All right.
So I'm gonna have to clarify. I'm gonna read here is Sky News. Johnny Depp wins U.S. legal lawsuit against former wife Amber Heard after 6 weeks of evidence in Johnny Depp's high-profile legal trial against his ex-wife Amber Heard. Jurors in Fairfax, Virginia, have come back with a verdict in the multi-million-dollar case. Johnny Depp has won his U.S. lawsuit. He was awarded $15 million by the court. Okay. Yeah, that's what we needed to know. This is amazing. Can tell you how happy I am for the epic and final conclusion of this ordeal, and of course for us. It was really intense in the past weeks for Johnny. It was 6 years of hell, of nothing that I will not. Let me change this. My little banner here. Johnny Depp wins. It's needed. We needed to. Yes. I needed to put it bigger. We needed that. We needed that closure. I can't tell you so many emotions. I'm a bit. I'm not crying now. Maybe cry later. But it's so fulfilling finally having
outside the courtroom where you can see these fans.
Wait a second. Having justice after everything that we witnessed, after everything that had come to light, after everything that Johnny decided to reveal to the world. I don't care. I don't care if the world gets to know all my deepest and strangest and the text secrets. I don't care. He was all in. He was decided to do this. To I don't know how to. Well, it's amazing. I'm not gonna say absolutely not anything about any of my predictions. I'm still happily surprised, joyfully surprised. I'm sure all my pals. I'm sure the umbrella guy he was crying now. He was tweeting. He says that he was crying. I'm absolutely sure he has been following this. I don't know, so many. Let's see, the BBC breaking news already saying that. I don't know if I can read some tweets. The umbrella guy, that umbrella guy saying, I spent years of my life because I knew Johnny Depp was innocent. Years of people asking why. Today is why. Johnny Depp is vindicated. Yeah, this is amazing. Then Emily tweeting, I have to say Johnny Depp's team ending his testimony with the audio of Amber saying, Tell them I, Johnny Depp, a man, am a victim of domestic violence, and see how many people believe or side with you. That's something that gets your hair on end. It was probably one of the most powerful moments thus far. 10 million compensatory damages to Johnny Depp and 5 million for punitive damages. Yeah, if this was there was a tweet yesterday. If Johnny Depp loses, he's a victim of abuse. If Johnny Depp wins, as he did, he's a victim of abuse. If Amber Heard loses, she's an abusive liar. If Amber Heard wins, she's an abusive liar. Tell me where is Amber Heard gonna hide now? Tell me, where is Amber Heard gonna hide now? This is what you get for being what you were to. No, I don't think that Johnny should go back to Pirates of the Caribbean. I think Disney kicked him. Disney just stabbed him on the back. I don't think they deserve him. I'm sure he will have more and more amazing roles in new characters, in new movies, in new stories, and this will be really another a rebirth of his career. But he needed this. He needed this. As he said, no matter what happens, I did get here and I did tell the truth. And I have spoken up for what I've been carrying on my back reluctantly for 6 years. Johnny Depp. Eric RD is tweeting, people turning against Amber Heard, not because Johnny Depp is a powerful man or a famous actor, but because we watched the trial and saw with our own eyes who was telling the truth and who wasn't. Yeah, this is something that you have to experience to really understand the scope of this and how this has affected every single one of us and how we stood here. How we stood here, even in illness and everything, trying to guarantee that justice was gonna be served. We had no way of guaranteeing it, and I was 5% worried, of course, that this is gonna be disheartening. But yes, he can really rest now. He clear his name. Yeah, Dan Wootton must apologize. Yeah, that should be some footage of Johnny's reaction, but even if we don't have Johnny's reaction, we saw Johnny all over the trial. We saw his pain. We saw the smirks of Amber, who said, "I'm not coming here to laugh," and everybody saw her face. It was amazing, just an explosion. There the usual Amber Heard stands, tweeting stupid things. There you go. Depp is not a wife beater or a rapist. No one, not even Amber, can ever say it again. Johnny Depp really just came to the US, told the truth, and said, "Hey, I'm done," and flew to UK to play music. King. Charlotte, as a DV survivor, I'm so happy that Johnny Depp stood and fought for the truth to come out. I hope this helps both men and women who suffer or have suffered to know, fight for the truth. This is a milestone for domestic violence survivors to know that they can fight. There's a reason how can they fight? How can they stand for for the truth, for what they lived? Because Johnny was standing for the truth. This was not, they say that this is not about hurting Amber. He doesn't gain anything from hurting her. He was just standing for the truth, and of course for his children to realize that their father was not what people were claiming that he was. And his name has been cleared. That is the most important thing. Oh my God, so many very stupid people that I'm not gonna give any fame to them. I'm not gonna mention them tweeting stupid things, but stupid people tweeting stupid things. I'm not gonna say their name here. Not gonna give them more fame or anything. They don't deserve that. This has been amazing, and even more amazing with you. I want to highlight all your comments. I don't know what are we gonna do. I'm gonna highlight at least. No, Johnny was not in the courtroom. He was in the UK. What will happen to her career? Hopefully karma. Yes, karma. Yeah, karma will hit her like a freight train. There's no way around that. Where is Whitney? I want to know. I demand to know. Where is Whitney? Show your face now. I think she went running. I think she's gonna take that plane ticket to North Korea now. She's getting a permanent North Korea vacation soon. She is not a survivor, she is a liar, and the law had made it clear now. Yes, that is so satisfying to say. And the truth will set you free. Yes, we need that. Yeah, we need that gift. Yes, I'm emotional. I am not crying. It's not because I'm not emotional, but I was always thinking about all the victims of domestic violence, all the victims of domestic abuse. I've treated so many of them. I have tried to help so many of them that it was infuriating how, if the possibility that Amber could win this case and just, well, how can I say that? It will be a blow to domestic violence survivors everywhere, all over the world. This is worldwide. We're watching a worldwide phenomenon. This impact, the impact of this trial is how it's going to be for decades. No, this will not be forgotten. There are Amber stands on Twitter saying that this could be forgotten in 1 week or two. This is not going to be forgotten. What will be forgotten is Amber Heard's career. Nobody will remember her. I don't know. People, that kind of people is capable of anything. I'm not gonna like say anything or predict anything of her behavior, but I think she will have she's got enough problems now to be seeking revenge. James Franco will comfort her. Yes, I'm sure about that. Yeah, he won 95 of the case, but he won. He cleared up his name. Clearing up your name, that has no price. There's no, you cannot put a price on it. You clear up your name. Your name is cleared. Okay? And it proved that the UK trial was a circus. It was just a plain circus. She's done like an overcooked chicken. Working my way through a mega pint in celebration, finally justice for Johnny. After so many years, it's amazing. Yeah, screw Disney. Well, they are screwing themselves with all those shows and crappy streaming shows that they're putting out. And nobody's watching. Yeah, anyone can be an abuser and anyone can be a victim. That's something that we have to learn from this. And the lies that someone could be subjected to, it's something that is the most preoccupying thing, that you think that because you were a victim or you are a victim, there will be automatically justice served to you, but it's not the case. You have to fight it. We have to put this in perspective. Put it in perspective that Johnny Depp is a powerful man with hundreds, if not thousands, of connections, with a net worth of what, $150 million, with a promising career, always have a promising career, and he was almost brought down by lies, by the lies of an abuser. We don't need to describe the abuser, by the lies of an abuser. So it's really concerning, especially when men are the ones that are being abused. There is hope. This is a signal that there is hope. Yes, this is something that we are gonna be digesting emotionally over maybe a couple days, maybe what it takes you to process this emotionally. It's normal that maybe you will feel emotional about this this evening, tonight, or maybe tomorrow. It's absolutely normal and expected, because so much emotional charge, so much that build up of emotions, and just releasing them at minutes, in less than a minute, that is something that your body and your soul will take a bit to process. So be aware about that. Maybe you will feel fatigue, with a little less energy, or maybe you will feel anxious, or maybe you will feel euphoric. But there are going to be many ways that your body will try to process all the emotions that you have at this moment, and just to make sure that you are you know that it will be coming, that sudden charge of emotions. Yeah, Whitney, where is Whitney? Where is Whitney? We must carry on doing these live chats, Jesus. They are so good. Thank you. Yeah, we have to find a way. I don't know. I'm sure we'll find a way. I did a poll. I have received many answers to that poll I did on topics. There's this case about the staircase. The staircase murder of what happened with this guy Peterson. Many of you have asked. I'm gonna do maybe I don't know if a recorded video or a live, I don't know, but I'm gonna do something about that. A very interesting case, this staircase. I've had that request like, I don't know, 50 times in the last 48 hours. Actual survivors stand tall. We won. Yes. Yes, we also who lied because of body language. Yeah, we managed to see that just Amber's arguments did not add up. And I remember, I'm gonna be really emotional. I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna be really emotional. I'm gonna be real emotional when the moment that I review that video that I did with diagram. You saw that I made a diagram with Amber and Whitney's explanation of what they were doing. And let me look for that. I'm gonna look for that video now. I remember that I was doing that video and I said I want to finish early. It was quite late in the evening, but I took my time to make that. Diagram because I said this is worth it, because this doesn't make sense at all. This doesn't make sense at all. I want to look for that one. This one. I remember that I was doing this. I was a bit tired. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna do an inception here. And I said, I don't understand how so many people are missing the point here, because it's physically impossible to. Let me wait for the load. Yeah, she was explaining that, and it made it this diagrams. Said people are not watching. People have listened to this many times. I had listened to that many times, and I tell you over and over again that you should always picture things in your mind. Picture things in your mind. Renee, thanks for your super chat, and I also have a super chat here, an amazing super chat that someone sent. I'm sorry, here. Thanks, Thunder Thought, for your $200 super chat. Thanks a lot. This is amazing. I'm so happy my body language body. I wish mainstream media would watch the trial. I don't think they will, due to confirmation bias and political correctness. What do you think? I hope abused men and women are relieved and happy too. And this is something I want to say about mainstream media. Mainstream media are going to strangle themselves. There is going to. I'm sure that you have noticed that mainstream media is becoming like, I don't know, more woke, more boring, more not taking risks, anything, not doing anything, and they are stagnant and about to enter a phase where YouTubers we're doing our best just to share the facts as they are. In my case, from a human behavior and body language standpoint, and people need this. People are craving this, and we're giving, not only myself, there are all other channels that are very good. Observe, Logan Porter here. There's also the behavior panel. There's also the behavioral arts, Spidey at the behavioral arts. Many channels that are doing excellent work on the field of behavior and body language and other fields, explaining what is going on with the world with an objective angle and in a way that really resonates with what people need to be informed, to be truly, how to say that, to have informed decisions. Yeah, that's the thing. You should have form yourself an opinion, but you should have the actual facts. Okay? And one thing that is, well, it's something that is that is what the wacky physics that Amber said, that at the same time somehow let me move this a bit downwards. Somehow, Whitney was in the middle of them, and at the same time, Whitney was at risk of falling down the stairs. What kind of mad universe is that? What mad universe? That is a Philip K. Dick novel, right? What mad universe? Thunder Thought, you're absolutely right, and absolutely thankful for your amazing super chat. Thank you. Yes, we are. Johnny released a statement. Oh my God, where's that statement? Let's. Yeah, The Staircase is a film about the case of a woman that was found by her husband dead at the lower part of our staircase, and blood everywhere, and a very strange circumstances. I will take a look. I will gladly take a look at that that case. I'm thinking of doing a live with the footage, studying the footage, studying the all the case, studying all the evidence. Maybe that will be a better way to do a live about that, because that's what I'm telling you. When I make a recorded video, it's usually a summary of a longer live. Let me see if I can find that Johnny Depp statement. This is what? A statement by Amber. Amber made a statement. Oh my God. Do you want me to read Amber's statement? Yes or no? If you say no, I won't read it. Do you want me to read? Oh, Camille is speaking. Camille is speaking. Camille is speaking. Oh my God. Let's do this. There's my own live in there. How funny. Camille and Ben speaking. Come on. Do it.
His or her case heard, and we were honored, truly honored, to assist Mr. Depp in ensuring that his case was fairly considered throughout the trial. We are also most pleased that the trial has resonated for so many people in the public who value truth and justice. Now that the jury has reached its conclusive verdict, it's time to turn the page and look to the future. Thank you all so much, and thanks to the jury.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Vasquez, have you spoken to Johnny? How is he feeling? How's Johnny feeling? Will Johnny and Amber ever speak to each other again? Ms. Vasquez, is this the end of the matter? Ms. Vasquez. $14 million.
Team. We hear some activity now. So can we go in live right now, taking their real live victory lap in real time? I'm going to go to the podium. And here they are approaching the podium, Ben Chu, Camila Vasquez, the rest of the Johnny Depp legal team.
We're waiting for the audio to rewatch this again.
Hi, everyone. Today's verdict confirms what we have said from the beginning, that the claims against Johnny Depp are defamatory and unsupported by any evidence. We are grateful, so grateful to the jury for their careful deliberation, to the judge and the court staff who have devoted an enormous amount of time and resources towards this case.
Our judicial system is predicated on each person's right to have his or her case heard, and we were honored, truly honored, to assist Mr. Depp in ensuring that his case was fairly considered throughout the trial. We are also most pleased that the trial has resonated for so many people in the public who value truth and justice. Now that the jury has reached its conclusive verdict, It's time to turn the page and look to the future. Thank you all so much, and thanks to the jury.
Thank you so much.
Guys, have you spoken to Johnny? How is he feeling? How's Johnny feeling? Will Johnny and Amber ever speak to each other again? Miss Vasquez, is this the end of the matter? Miss Vasquez.
Well, as some of you say yes, I'm going to read Amber's statement. The disappointment, this is Amber's statement that I'm reading now. The disappointment I feel today is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still was not enough to stand up the disproportionate power, influence, and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed in what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I think it's her career, the one that is getting a setback, that is back in time. I believe Johnny's attorneys succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore, freedom of speech, and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. No, the UK trial was a dud. I'm sad I lost this case, but why don't you cry? Why didn't you cry? But that's my question. Why didn't you cry? Yeah, she sounds like Megan. Absolutely, she sounds like Megan. Are you sure this is an Archwell Foundation? But I'm sadder still that I seem to have lost a right I thought I had as an American to speak freely and openly. No, but you have to speak with the truth, girl. You have to speak with the truth. You have to speak with the truth. Where is Johnny's statement? Where's Johnny's statement? Here it is. I think I got it here. Johnny Depp's statement. You want to hear it? I know you want to listen to it. I know you want it. You absolutely want it. Here it comes. Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's statement. 6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in me were forever changed. All in the blink of an eye. False, very serious and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already traveled around the world twice within a nanosecond, and it has a seismic impact on my life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humble. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of the legal hurdles that I will be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that. I am, and I have been, overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and the colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and to my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Veritas nunquam perit. Truth never perishes. That's it. This is really amazing. Yes, it hits hard. It hits really hard. Don't forget about regular men dealing with this daily. Yes, this is amazing. What can I tell you? What can I say you that I haven't said before? This was an outstanding experience. Yeah, this is truth never precious. Yeah, many of us will sleep really well tonight. Yeah, it's a very emotional moment. It's a very emotional moment when we feel that, in spite of being judged for so many ways, in so many unfair ways, on so many fronts, the legal, the media, the public opinion. Yeah, the truth set him free. How he became a symbol of that truth. It's a win for anyone abused, yeah, by narcissists, by manipulators, by toxic personalities, by anyone. The world came together as one. Well, minus the Amber fans and stans, that's for sure. They got very salty now. Yes, he won. He won. Johnny won. Yeah, the media, it's something that is very, very dangerous nowadays. Something, and I think that is one of the reasons independent platforms, YouTubers, and mainly YouTubers, because YouTube is the largest independent TV station. I always seen YouTube as a TV station. It has its flaws, but also it gives us independent content creators with the opportunity to get our voice out there, to get our voices heard, and to bring you content that can just make you think, that can help you in many ways, just how to say that, make informed decisions. That's this most important thing that we have to realize. We need better insights. We don't want condescending tones. We don't need to be told what to do, what to think. We want to think. We want to make our own decisions. But for that, we need the right kind of information. And mainstream media is less and less and less apt to do that. They themselves, nobody's hurting them. Nobody is telling them what to do. They, with their woke and crazy and I don't know, out of touch attitude, they're putting they're strangling themselves. Yeah, today is World Narcissist Awareness Day. What beautiful poetry to have the verdict today. This is poetic justice. This is poetic justice. yeah, thank you for being here. So many of you, 8,000 still here, tuning in, sharing this this space. Yeah, lying under oath. You know that if you lie under oath, you go to jail, right? We want to know what's happens with all that lying. That was just lying. I try to read I try to read most comments. I'm glad that I managed to spot yours, Charlie. Yes, I would like to keep doing this, and many of you, my body language buddies. I'm sorry, but I have something in my eye. Yeah, right. No, I'm not crying. I'm just legit something in my eye now. I want to keep the focus on body language and human behavior. That is the main focus on my channel. But so many things that need to be brought awareness to, and have to be commented. And one of the things that I've been obsessed for many years in my life, decades, has been with thinking, how to help people think. And that is one of the things that you realize, that in most of my videos, I just try to make you think about what is going on. It's not like there's this the body language tips and such, and that's the end of it. No, I want you to think, to have your own criteria about what's going on with the world, about what's going on with any of these cases. And with these lives, I've learned a lot of how can I better work as a tool, maybe a tool is not the right word, as someone that can serve you with those insights. I've never believed for 1 second that I can compete with commentators like John Oliver, which is practically my mentor at this, unofficial mentor. He doesn't know that I exist, but it doesn't matter. It's a huge influence. And for example, Russell Brand also does very good commentary on issues, worldwide issues. I don't want to go too political. I don't want to go too into that kind of on topics that divide. This kind of topics are great because they are something very like urgent. These are urgent topics, and at the same time they make people join a cause, bring people together. So many hundreds of millions of people together for this. Yes, that's what I want to do. A catalyst. I just want to be a catalyst. I don't want to pontifice. I don't want to be condescending. I don't want to have the word, because I don't have the word. I'm just a spectator, just like you, just like every single one of you. That's all that I am, and nothing more. I'm just an spectator. I only have a little more experience in certain fields. I have a particular set of skills, just like Liam Neeson, and I'm always trying, yes, have a good time myself, and by extension, I always try to make sure that you have a good time when you watch my videos or when you share my lives. I try to do that, and yeah, many. It's absolutely, it's normal to cry now. It's the way that you. Dan Wootton is now live on GV News. He won't be addressing this, I'm sure. What do you think of Amber's facial reaction during reading? Well, she already knew that, because I'm sure that her lawyers had already told her what was the outcome. I'm sure they saw when there was this getting closer to the judge about the issues in the form, they already knew, and Johnny's team already knew too. Will Amber Heard pay Johnny $15 million? Well, that's what we believe, right? This is something that it's far beyond the scope of what could be just watching a trial and watching the body language. It's the emotional component. It's the vindication of an injustice. It's something that we have felt at any point in our lives. Maybe not in the scope that Johnny felt that, but we have, every single one of us have felt that we've been treated unfairly, or maybe manipulated, or brought down by toxic personalities. That's why we were so invested in this. Every single person in the world has suffered under the influence of a toxic personality. That's why so many people were invested in this. And this is why one of the reasons I really wanted to do this till the end. Yeah, she might pledge the 15 million. And there's so many, there are limitations to, of course, certain topics. You know that, of course, the issue that I had at first with this topic is that, well, you know that YouTube is always flagging delicate topics like this, and they prefer the content to be family friendly 100%, but this is necessary. We have to talk about this, and it's thanks to your generous donations that I've been able to stream, I don't know, about this topic more than any other topic ever. I live streamed on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's case more time than any other topic that I did previously before. And one way that I could do it was thanks to you and your generous donations and your feedback, and you being here with your likes, with your you think the ACLU will revoke her ambassadorship for them? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I ask every day, please play Jolie Taxi. It's time to celebrate. Yes, we have to celebrate. And thank you for all your kind words. I'm only try to give you a window into insights that could help you navigate better what is the most important skill in the world. And absolutely sure that is the most important skill in the world. That's being able to read people and being able to read yourself, if you can want to put it that way, and use both knowledge to communicate and to live better, to know who are you dealing with, to be more kind to yourself, to recognize what triggers certain body language on you, to realize that so many questions we can get, so many answers we can get just by listening, actively listening to people and to discovering those inconsistencies. So many things. I find it fascinating myself I was really pumped. I have to. I remember when I was doing that analysis on witness testimony, the reaction of Johnny told me that was a lie. That was perjury. She was lying under oath in the face of millions. And it's not body language that I use to prove that. It was just her testimony, Amber's testimony, and a diagram to show everyone that it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense. You don't have to read microexpressions, facial microexpressions, or body language, or connect them to a machine that reads their voice tone, anything. It was not necessary because it just didn't make sense. And so many people told me, I have listened to this like 10 times, and I did not see it the way I saw it with your diagrams. That was very touching for me. That was very touching because it's like I made an effort of I don't know how many hours I spent on just nailing the style and design and everything to make people understand something better and show you, this is the most important part, show you that your senses, your perception can fool you, even if you're paying attention to something, even if you're listening to the repetition, if you listen to them side by side many times, your senses can fool you. So you must act carefully, because these toxic personalities exploit these weaknesses in us, these weaknesses in perception, these weaknesses in the way we process emotions, these weaknesses in our nurturing, like Johnny's weaknesses, what we experience with his mother. Do you think she will be punished for all the lies and her sister and whoever else? I don't know. But I think she already got a fair share of her punishment, not just today, but all the prior weeks. But everybody saw through her lies. That's where her punishment actually began. Yeah, discernment. Discernment is a great word. How to discern what is real, what is the truth, what is really happening in your heart. But sometimes we are manipulated in such a way that we think that it's our fault, or that we are weak, or that the other person has a right to treat us in any way. How to say that? Well, so many things, so many experiences tonight, and yes, it has been truly emotional. Truly emotional. Yes, this is important too. Making an amazing and safe space for those of us who have had to relive some not so great stuff through this trial. Yes, that is really, I don't know, fulfilling. I don't know what to tell you. I'm really flattered. Marjorie, thank you for helping us all through this difficult case. Body language guy. Love learning from you. And I really love you being here at every step of the way. And with the excitement that how many events like this, how many cases, how many videos, how many lives will we be experimenting together in the future. It's mind-boggling. I will not stop doing this. It's like I literally found my home. This is my home. It's not like I'm getting comfortable, and by getting comfortable, I'm not gonna improve constantly. This is improving constantly. 8-hour lives is improving constantly. Commenting affairs, it's improving constantly. I'm not doing this to brag. I'm saying this to try to communicate the excitement I feel about being able to share this space, this learning space. That is something that I cannot communicate with words. Yeah, it's like practicing self-defense for the mind. That is a very good analogy. Self-defense for the mind. And thank you for all your support. What do you think this is going to do for real victims? Real victims are scared to come forward. Whether they're women or men, it doesn't matter. They are scared. They're scared to not be believed. They're scared to be ridiculed. They're scared that they have to prove in some way what they went through. They lived that. They actually lived those ordeals, or are living right now that. Maybe their life is hell this very moment. Maybe they're watching this. There must be domestic violence victims now. 7,000 body language bodies. There must be some of you that have been abused in your own home, by your own partner, by a loved one, someone that you loved, someone that you trust or used to trust, and that changed. How does it help you? Well, if you watch the whole trial, or at least the highlights, you notice a pattern. There's something that started like a fairy tale. Something that started like a fairy tale in your life, with a person that was amazing in every way, amazing for you. You felt with this person like you have never felt ever in your life. And that happened for months or even years. And your family loved them, and your friends loved them, and everybody in society loved them. And it was too good to be true. And sadly, you have come to believe that what's going on now with your life, the abuse, the constant psychological, emotional, and even physical abuse, is not something normal. It's not something that anybody should be suffering by any circumstances. Nobody deserves that. And the first thing that you should do is to have an honest optics or honest assessment of what is yourself, what is you, what do you deserve as a human being. Because they will make you believe that it's your fault. They will make you believe that you are the wrong one, that you're the clumsy one, that you're the one who doesn't love them anymore, that you're the one that doesn't want to solve problems. So do not hide in the bathroom, because you have to face the problem. You have to face what they're saying. Is they want you to keep facing the abuse. They want you like that, abused. They want to keep ridiculing you. They want to keep hitting you. They want to keep making you feel miserable. If you hide, if you fight back, if you do anything that they do not expect, they don't like that. They want you controlled. They want you submissive. They want you in a way that you cannot fight back, because you just don't realize what is going on. And they will use every single one of your weaknesses that you've shared with them, your nurturing, your problems with your family that are natural to any family, your fears, your struggles. You have shared that with them because they earned your trust at some point, and you thought that you could trust them, and you share all your deepest secrets with them, and they use that against you in a way that you did not notice. This kind of trials, this visibility, helps you to understand how these toxic personalities work. And no matter how many witnesses they have, or they pay, or they can produce from the woodwork, most important is your own perception of yourself. That's why I always tell you over and over again, the most important person in your life is yourself. That's non-negotiable. You cannot negotiate that. This is a display of a process that happens millions of times all over the world for both men and women who are struggling to understand why their life has become miserable. Why are they no longer in charge of their lives? Even if they could have the power or connections or fame or money of Johnny Depp, we don't have even a fraction of that. Even 1% of that. No, much less than that. And so many people believe your abuser is because they have worked that for months to make sure that people believe them. Hey, there's Whitney. Hey, Whitney, say hi. Oh, she didn't want to talk to us. Whatever. Go to North Korea. So that's the current affair of the state of affairs. That happens so often that it is scary. And every single case, every single scenario is different, because every person has different weaknesses. Every person has different fears. And every person is at different stages of maturity. And every person has different ways of dealing emotionally with the circumstances. Not everyone has the emotional tools necessary to deal with certain circumstances. So in those cases, we seek another person to help us with certain situations. And I would love to tell you that it works it works sometimes. Sometimes you are lucky enough to find someone who shares that struggle or understands your struggle and helps you deal with it in a successful manner and get out of that hole. But it's not always the case, because sometimes you stumble upon toxic personalities that will use that against you, to use up your energy, your divine energy. I always mention it that way. Our divine energy, that we are responsible for that. You are responsible for your divine energy, the energy that is currently pumping in your heart right now. The only responsible for that energy is you. So you have to care for it. You must guard the temple of your mind, of your heart, of your body. Because it's so easy to just give the keys to someone that is smoke and mirrors, that mesmerizes us, just because they treat us marginally better than the rest of the world. And it's much, much dangerous if you come from a difficult family, a difficult upbringing, narcissistic parents, toxic households. It's much difficult because you don't have the reference of what is a circle of emotional reassurance. You don't know how to react. You don't know how to process events. It's something as easy as when we were children and we were watching cartoons or anything, we're watching TV, and we found something amusing on TV and we laughed at what was happening, but someone in our family, maybe a sibling or maybe one of our parents, was walking by, and we turned around to watch their expression, watch their reaction to what we were watching. It's like we're doing now. We like this reaction together, sharing this space together, something that we cannot help with. But when we are children, the first persons that we do it with is the people in our family, in our household, our parents or our brothers and sisters, maybe aunts, maybe grandparents if they live with us. We love that feedback, reassuring that feedback. We love that we laugh at cartoon, we see our dad or mother laughing at the same time at the cartoon. There's a friction, for example, if we laugh at the cartoon and they find it silly or stupid or anything, or I don't know. I don't know how to say that. It's like they can criticize what you're watching, even as a child. That makes a friction in the way you learn to interpret emotionally circumstances around you. Something as simple as a TV program, a TV show, a cartoon. You're watching a cartoon, you laugh at it, and you like the people around you to laugh with you. That makes you feel good. You can go back to your childhood and you will remember that you feel good when you see the people around you, especially people that you care about, reacting to circumstances, to a TV show, in a way akin to you, laughing just like you. Okay, or maybe you react in a negative way. Maybe you see an injustice on TV or an injustice on the street. You feel angry about it, and you love to see other people, the people that you love, reacting angry at it. That is an emotional feedback that we need to be sure of how we deal emotionally to the world around us. That is necessary. That is fundamental in our nurturing. That is more important than knowing how to, I don't know, mathematics or how to paint or anything else. And sadly, most families do not understand this. all you need to know for a small child, you don't need to have a parenting course or anything. You just need to go with the flow with them. They are discovering the world in their own terms. Okay? You just guide and just make sure that they don't get exposed to the wrong stimuli, okay, at the wrong age. That's important. It's not like you're going to give them an iPad or access to the internet or 24/7 TV in their own room, because they will be exposed to things that they're not able to process, and that will be another problem. Okay. That feedback from our family is the first emotional feedback we have, that we are assured that our reaction, our emotional reaction, is the right one. We need that reassurance from very, very early age. As in Johnny's case, that his mother used to abuse him in so many ways, even in physical ways. He didn't have that reference in many ways, especially in mother love. Because the love of a mother is really important. The love of a father is important in many ways, and the love of a mother is important in other ways. I am not here to steer a debate about single parent families. There are families that have no other ways. It must be single parent families, because one of them is an absolute jerk, an absolute asshole. There's no way that they can be anywhere near the children. I understand that. But you have to understand too that the way men and women help build those emotional tools in both boys and girls, children, it's a polarity. We need that polarity from early age. If that polarity fails, maybe because the couple dynamics are odd, or maybe one of them is a narcissist, or maybe one of them is a toxic personality, the parents, we're going to see that repeating in adulthood on those children. They're going to have this problem processing emotions, and they will be more prone to be manipulated by toxic personalities. I don't make the rules. I wish this was easier to stop, but so many being a family in such a crisis nowadays. Family is under attack in so many ways. And morals and ethics and values and principles are attacked in so many vicious ways nowadays, that it seems like by design, a way to weaken humanity, a way to weaken us just by becoming more manipulable in a massive scale. It's not that one person is going to manipulate us. It's that we're going to be manipulated on a mass scale. Yeah, I have to highlight this. Veronica, great friend, thanks for dropping by. I always miss you when I don't see you around. Best part of today's show, Johnny fell for the same woman as his mother was. Tragically, if he knew true love, he would have never settled for Amber or any other abusive woman. I'm glad people would quit male bashing. Men and women can both be victims. Yes, this is a topic that affects me in a personal way. I know many of you already are already aware of that. Many of you have listened to my lives. Many of you have guessed correctly how this topic affects me. The narcissistic topic affects me in a personal way. Many of you have already guessed. I am really thankful for all your support too. But this is something that I want to bring awareness to. Why do you think he wasn't able to learn from all his previous relationships that were successful and non-abusive? Well, precisely because none of his previous relationships, Johnny's previous relationships, were out to destroy him in any way. His previous relationships ended peacefully, respectfully. And there was not this level of destruction. He just didn't stumble upon a toxic personality, and that's why he did not learn or did not have to deal with toxic personalities, because none of his both Paradis or Ryder or Moss, none of them were toxic personalities. The moment he meets a toxic personality with Amber, then it just explodes. Okay, it's like you've been living and never exposed, to certain dangers. If you're not exposed to certain dangers of some kind, then you can't possibly know how to deal with them, because you're not exposed to them, because you don't stumble upon them until one day you face them and you realize that you don't have the emotional tools to deal with them, or your emotional baggage is just making you make that mistake. That's one way that I can tell you that this works. Thanks, Charles Speaks. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks for being in this space. I'm really grateful for all of you sharing this space. Amber love bombed him. Yes, this was true. Amber love bombed him. Amber caught Johnny in a midlife crisis. That is truth too. I love more narcissistic abusers to pay the price for their horrible behavior, in this case being seen as a precedent. Yeah, this is true. The narcissist chooses their victims. We don't choose them. They carefully choose us. They prey upon us. Blanca, I found you because I was affected by a narcissist and I was seeking for help on how to help myself next time, because I had to leave my job. I'm so sorry about that. Thank Jesus, you have helped me a lot. I'm really glad that it helped. I also suggest that if you want more in-depth insights about narcissists, you can go to Dr. Ramani's YouTube channel. She's the best at this. I just really try to make it easier to understand this process, make it easy to understand how this abuse happens. Sadly, my brother is a victim. His wife punches herself and a whole lot of other toxic stuff. Really sad, because he's still with her and doesn't want help. That is the biggest problem when a person doesn't want help, doesn't want external help from anyone. That's a very difficult situation, because no matter what you do, no matter how concerned you are, they just lock you out. And sadly, there are very few things that you can do if they are not aware of what they are living through. Thanks, Cecilia. Thanks a lot. This has helped me see my experience and the feeling that I was crazy. The fact that I married someone who treated me just like my mother did. So Freudian. Love bombed, future fate, then the crazy came. Yeah. As Johnny said, you wanna see crazy? I think I'm gonna make myself a shirt with that, with those words. You wanna see crazy? Kindness, decency, and a gentle spirit can be seen by bad people as weaknesses. An invitation to abuse, almost. Yeah, that is true. Who is the woman talking on screen? I have no idea. I just left the channel going on and whatever. No, they don't have. Do narcissists have a specific body language tells that are universal? No. They do not have specific body language traits. That's why I make so much emphasis in my body language channel to study other behaviors, to study common sense, to study contradictions, to study anything that can give you red flags and say, hey, wait a minute, this is something wrong in here. This is just not right. There's something off. And so many things beyond body language, which is a part. Body language is a part of nonverbal communication, and nonverbal communication is a part of a bigger subject. But even so, it is limited, severely limited in our way of how can we spot toxic personalities. Because we have to know how to listen to them, to their words, how to watch their actions, how to assess their actions, how to detect how they treat others. Do they treat everyone the same? How do they react emotionally? How are their emotional outbursts? All of those topics are not body language or observable in many ways in their body language or facial microexpressions. You just have to have this complete way of seeing the forest instead of you have to see the individual trees, but you have to see the whole forest at the same time. And that's something that for me it's paramount in my channel and my videos. And body language bodies, I'm emotionally spent by this point. I'm really glad that I was able to catch this live with you today, this verdict, this experience, and this beautiful experience when justice was served in the best way possible. I'm glad that you are here. I'm happy that you're here, and then we'll be here for every other topic, and I'm gonna do our next live, maybe another topic. Tomorrow I will be live streaming. I don't know how, but I will try. I do my best. I will be live streaming the Jubilee celebrations. I just having a good time, commenting what we see on screen. Let me see what we can catch, and mostly having a good time tomorrow. But I'm gonna find other topics. I think that staircase case is a nice one to have a live, to comment, to have all the evidence, to sort out the clips and see how can we can work that out with that. That will be amazing. My body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. And it was a pleasure for me to be here with you. And we'll meet again tomorrow in this same channel. Remember to subscribe and like, and thank you for all your support and all your donations. Has been amazing, has been a blessed day, has been a beautiful day. All thanks to you. All thanks to you. Much love and bliss. And until we meet in another video, another live, wherever the wind takes us, hope it's a peaceful shore to enjoy the weather and the landscape together. Take care, my body language buddies. Until tomorrow, get some rest. Over and out.